Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children and monsters of all ages, welcome to Coquito Underground, a special type of interview, gaming, and life. Today, in week 2 of the Misfit Nation journey, we are going to talk to a very special and what I believe is a very up and comer in the industry of podcasting, gaming, and life in general. He's not Wanda, first off, so let's not put the surprise in that shit. No, it's someone very special, someone who I think is actually the most humble in all the group, but the most boisterous. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the stage, SkrillKiil.
Praying over bricks, blessings on the stove.
Hello, what it do there? Thank you for having me, man. Key. What's up, brother?
What's up, man? I'm doing good, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is SkrillKiil. And by the way, to make sure that people know who he is, 1 second. SkrillKiil on Twitch, Twitter, and X, which is all the same thing. I just was really lazy. So at the end of it all, and on Instagram, ladies and gentlemen, check him out. So, Mr. SkrillKiil, may you please start off with question number 1, which is... Oh, damn it. My bad. Give me a second. There we go. My computer's all weird. I got it. There we go. Who is SkrillKiil?
I mean, okay, well, Skrill is and SkrillKiil is a long form, but you can shorten it, call it Skrill. Skrill is a kid from Broward County, Florida. Florida born and raised. You know, I got both parents. I was blessed to have both loving parents to support me. I'm somebody who I used to take education like really seriously. I mean, I still do, but I used to be in college and I kind of went the other way on that. I was like, it's not really for me. I think I just get a job, which is totally fine. You know, like you don't have to, if you could get a good job, then you'd be all right. I'm a Christian. I'm not the best Christian, but I still try. And I think that's all that really matters. You know what I mean? And yeah, I over the course of 5 better years, I have switched my stance from being I was more of a moderate. I was like a lefty moderate, maybe early 2012. But now I'm full conservative. Like I don't, I don't give a fuck about none of that leftist shit that's going on. Like that's who I am today. And I appreciate you calling me humble. I try to be humble. But I need to work on not being humble. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you gotta talk. Sometimes you gotta talk your shit a little bit. So, but yeah. That's who Skrill is. Nice to meet y'all.
Okay. To add on to that, can you tell me a little bit more about SkrillKiil in his teens and 20s? Because everyone is different in their teens and 20s than what they are now, ladies and gentlemen. So if you can delve at like any special moments, any crazy stuff that happened, so that people can get to know you more.
I mean, I don't really have like crazy stories, you know what I mean? Like I'm an only child, right? So I don't have no brothers and sisters. It's just me. I got a few really close friends. I mean, I guess I got a few crazy stories with Wanda, but I guess one of the tamer ones is I remember one day we was smoking a little bit of devil's lettuce, and we got hungry. It was like, yo, we gotta get something to eat. So let's go to Burger King. This shit right there. So we hop in the car, we jamming all the way to Burger King, and I'm looking for my phone. I'm like, yo, bro, where's my phone? Mind you, I just got this phone. Like, it's a brand new phone. I didn't pay for it because I didn't have a job at that time. I was young. So I'm freaking the fuck out. I'm like, where the fuck is my phone? So Wanda's calling it. I'm in the drive-thru. We about to order, and we turned the music down to hear if we could hear it. That shit was it was buzzing. But we couldn't find it in the back seat, and it wasn't in the front seat.
Yeah.
So I went outside, and it was on the back window. I left it on top of the car, and it slid and it got stuck in the crevice of the that in between the trunk and the windshield. It got stuck right there. That's probably one of my favorite Wonder stories. I got a few, but that one was special because I literally got that phone maybe like 2 days before that happened, and I was glued to my phone ever since then. But yeah, that's pretty funny.
I get that. Like the only story I have was a phone was that I got the old Nokia phones when they came out the first time, and I threw that shit. It fell down like 2 stories and still lasted, ladies and gentlemen. I'm still going. Love playing that snake to the end. All right. Well,
Yeah, Nokia was going.
I know. Let's delve in a little bit more of your life. What inspired you? Which is gonna be, ladies and gentlemen, gonna sort of, but not really. But question 2. And this is like 1.5 to 2. What inspired your life musically? Because Florida is a different type of music genre that if you were growing up in Detroit, Georgia, California, New York, and you know that, Chicago, like it's all different. So who inspired you musically growing up?
Well, I mean, it's funny you say that. Yeah, I was born and raised in Broward, but my taste in hip hop and music is more northern. Like I'm a big fan of New York hip hop, and the reason for that is throughout the bigger portion of my life, even though I was a only child, my cousin who was from New York, and he's at least maybe 17 years older than me. Oh, wow. Was living with us at the time, right? But he came from New York, so he brought all of his New York shit with him. So there'd be times where he would be out the crib and I would sneak into his room and I would take Wu-Tang albums. I would take Wu-Tang albums. I would take Biggie albums. I would take and then mind you, I think I was like 9, 8 at the time. And my mom, God bless her, I love her to death, but she didn't want me listening to that type of music. So I really had to like go behind the scenes and try and figure shit out. But he was the gateway to like really opening the floodgates and pretty much everything. I mean, Jadakiss, Styles, all that shit he had. And that's the hip hop that I gravitated to. And that's the one that's the type of the art form that I like.
Okay. I get that. I grew up North Jersey, a little bit of lately, as you know, recently I've been listening more of Buffalo Sound, Umbrella Collective, Rick Hyde, Mickey Diamond, Stove God Cooks, just because of the fact that they are just so. Okay, let's talk about Stove God Cooks for a second, real quick. Stove God Cooks is a weird anomaly in hip hop because he's not a good rapper, he's not a good storyteller. He's just a guy that just rode the wave of the cocaine era and crack era, I think, and he could paint a picture. He could paint a picture. The best line he ever said, I was sitting in my plug for 7 hours. He was outside like cutting the grass and watering the flowers. And in the end, I stayed because that last shot before the buzzer hits, that's what matters. And he was like, you know what? I'll wait 7 more hours and we're going to stuff the whole car up and fill the door up with bricks. And the way I'm paraphrasing, the way he said it, I got hooked because he's a storyteller. Boldy James, for example, storyteller. Boldy James, that's people that I like now, for example. Okay. Now, so the question I ask you, growing up with Wu-Tang, Jadakiss, Lox, Snoop Dogg, again West Coast, but still Snoop Dogg. Everyone loves Snoop Dogg.
Yeah, for sure.
Everyone, DMX, Biggie, Tupac, and then 50 Cent, P Diddy, Lil Wayne, the Yin Yang Twins. All that stuff. Do you think we will get back to an era of hip hop that was, and I hate to quote Trump, great again? Honestly, because there's no really good hip hop out there.
Nah, I mean, I think that would be selfish of people who are fans of what the old work was. The old work is, and I had to come to grips to that myself by constantly arguing with Krishan the Don about where hip hop is in the place of hip hop and where it's going. But I mean, throughout the years, not only has the art form declined, the artistry has declined, the artist development has declined. Music as it stands right now, like Chris was saying, is moving in a different direction. And these new hip hop artists don't really give a fuck about the art form anyway. They just want to get on and probably get a McDonald's meal. And most of them are females that's talking about sucking and riding cock anyway. Like I don't give a fuck about current hip hop. So that's why I'm glad that we have what we had in the past, because we can look back and say, yo, this shit was good music. You know, now we sound like our granddads and our dads when they were when we were listening to their shit. We were like, what the fuck is this shit? And they'd be like, this is good music. You don't know nothing about that. Now we look at the younger generation, and it's a cycle. That's how it has to be. We're not gonna like what the new kids like because they're kids. That's what they like. And then in the future, when they're bumping Lil Uzi Vert, their kids are gonna be like, that shit is trash.
Yeah, that's true.
So
and there's and sorry to cut you off there. There's a really rare breed of artists right now that, again, I, for example, like Alchemist, because he takes 60s and 70s music and really incorporates it. Because it's and this is a debate that Krishan said. Shout out to Krishan. When you're gonna hear this, you know the hell I'm talking about. That he said that hip hop has no melody and hip hop has no hook like rock music. You guys talked about this a year ago when you guys had a debate about this.
He was wilding with that shit.
He was wilding with that shit. But I think with Alchemist and the conductor, these people who are taking songs and just rhythm and just melodies is making hip hop. Again, if Conway and the Machine, who has a busted mouth and has like, you know, all that shit like Jim Ross style, can rap over an Alchemist beat, which is basically like a Betty Ross song back in the 50s, 60s, 70s, you can go with it. And that's why I think there's hope, because there, again, Boldy James, Currency, and shout out RIP to Fred the Godson. Those are people that just, I still listen to Fred the Godson right now, and every time I listen to it, there's something new I always hear. Every single time, because he was the king of the double entendre. So and to add on to something you said too, I talked about this with Krishan. All these women now coming out in hip hop, they got braces, they got the baby faces, and they already got 6 bodies on their record. And I'm not talking about sex bodies, I'm talking about bodies. There's no appeal to that. What happened to the Little Kims, man? Little Kims was a hoe, but she was fucking sexy. Yes.
You wanted to fuck. You think I want to fuck Sexy Red? Hell no.
No. Hell no. Hell no, dude. Like, everyone likes Ice Spice. She's just a girl that has nice hair. That's the only thing I like. That's it.
She look like, to me. Look, I get it. Fat ass, that's cool. I mean, it looked like her attitude stink. And I'm judging based off of looks. That's all I got to go off. And again, the content is more the same as Lil Kim. To be fair, I could give 2 fucks about female hip hop. But even when you look at female hip hop, where female hip hop was back in the day compared to where it is now, that shit ain't the same. And I don't like how people just completely dismiss Rhapsody as if she's not a top tier MC. True. But nobody talks about her. It's all about these bitches who sucking dick. So
you're right. It's all about Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion. No one remembers Rampage. Nobody remembers Rampage, but I do.
Lady Rage
as well. Like, these are the like the Brat. The Brat wasn't a good rapper, but she was there. You know,
she was there.
She was there. You know,
Lauryn Hill. Come on,
Lauryn Hill as well. Lauryn Hill, Erykah Badu, Sade. You're right. There's not even good women lyricists now. You can put anything on anything and put the stupid thing that this guy uses all the time, auto-tune, and use auto-tune and get away with it. It's no fun anymore. And I don't want that anymore. Like, I want good, like, okay, we're not even gonna delve into rock. Rock is ridiculous. It has not changed in the last 20 years. I'm sorry, Krishan. Suck it up. It's the truth. There's nothing good about that.
Rock has probably been dead since like 2000. When did Creed come out? That was the last good rock.
Oh shit, band. Creed 2004.
Yeah, that was it. They were dead after that.
Yeah. There's been nobody else. There's been nobody I can say, like, damn, that's a badass rock band. I was a rocker back in the day. There's nobody else, ladies and gentlemen. And
I love rock, but again, to the same point I was making with hip hop, as somebody who didn't grow up with rock, I had to go back and listen to rock. There are certain eras in rock that I like, and certain eras that's not for me. You know what I mean? So it's just, music is different between times. So we just gotta kind of. So I like how you're still having hope. I want to have hope too, because people like Benny the Butcher exist. You know what I mean? Like, these niggas is out here, but they're not pushing Drake numbers to make a cultural change and a shift in music. If Benny the Butcher dropped something and made 50-cent numbers, real hip hop would be back. Yeah, that's a fact. Because then everybody would want to do what he's doing.
Exactly. Like there's hungry artists out there. There are hungry out there. Again, I bring up the Umbrella Collective. Look it up, ladies and gentlemen. Those motherfuckers, Mickey Diamond,
Hungry.
Currency, and Pro Dillinger. Those three alone are just nasty. And they have Alchemist in the background having fun. And Conductor. But we can delve into music anyway. I'm not even getting into the electronic music because it's sad, or what's happening in the future of AI, because that's another thing altogether. But I want to get to the question number 3, and that's something that you hold dear to your heart, which is
Don't miss that boat, or you might be.
so let's talk about Twitch. Your baby, your Goliath, your child. So how did SkrillKiil on Twitch became to be? First off, let's start with that question.
All right. Well, I'd actually be on Twitch right now, but I can't for some reason. So don't forget to follow me there if you haven't already. SkrillKiil. But yeah, I actually started streaming 2016, 2017-ish, I think.
Yeah.
But I didn't start on Twitch. I started on Mixer. And it was a direct streaming app that was on the Xbox. And I was making some headway. I think by the end of it, I had probably around 500, 600 followers. So I was moving pretty fast on Mixer too. So it was like I was streaming every day. I was getting some more followers. And then probably like a month, 2 after, they were like, yeah, Mixer's gone. We're done with Mixer. We're just kaputting the whole thing. So I was like, fuck, what am I supposed to do? I never made a Twitch, didn't make a Twitch or anything. I was like, all right, so I'm gonna go ahead and make a Twitch, see what happens. And start from scratch is never really the funnest thing, you would know, of course. But I just had to bare my teeth and do it. So I started off probably like a couple of followers, maybe Chris, a few of the friends. But then from there I held a competition where I was giving away something. I forgot what I did, and I got a boost off of that. And I was steady climbing. Right now, it's a little stagnant. I'm trying to get to 200, but it's harder to grow on Twitch because there's so many like big creators on Twitch, and the platform doesn't like the things that I have to say. So I can't imagine that my videos would be in the forefront. I don't really say much other than when I'm gaming, but when I'm gaming, I don't hold back any either. Like I say all types of shit when I'm gaming. So I can see a situation where Mixer gave me the push for just being myself. Twitch is doing the opposite. So, but it is what it is. It's more right now. It's more of a hobby. I still love Twitch, and I'm still trying to grow my audience. For it to one day not be a hobby. So if anybody wants to, if they like gaming, they like conversation, they could come over there and watch me. But that's pretty much how my Twitch journey started and where I'm at today.
Okay, so can you tell me, if you can remember, your top from 2017 to now, your top 3 games from Twitch? Like you just remember it forever, even if Twitch disappeared.
Yeah,
you will always remember it.
You mean the games that I played, or like games that I like was playing while I was streaming?
No, the games that you've played that you remember it fondly.
Not moments in the game, just the game itself.
It's just the game itself. You can pick moments as well. You can put that in there.
Okay. Well, shit. There's a moment in actually, there's a moment where we were playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare. I think it was Modern Warfare 2. Yeah, it was 2 because it had the sub map. And I unfortunately caught a Homatalk to the face. Within the first 3 seconds of that game. Somebody launched a Homatalk over a building into our spawn and hit me square in the face. And not only that, what made it worse is my clan, my people on the game, went online and found that person had actually clipped that shit and posted it. So now I was one of the original people on YouTube that got fucked by a tomahawk. Unfortunately, actually, fortunately, I'm glad that shit is gone. Can't find that shit no more. But for a while, I was up there. That's a core memory. I think I really enjoyed playing Gears of War. Gears of War is probably my top 5 video games, at least multiplayer shooters. We played a lot of Gears of War in the early days, and of course Apex Legends, man. Big Apex fan. I got a lot of moments on that game when I was streaming where I couldn't believe that we made it out of that, but we did. So shout out to FOE. That's my actually hold on. I got it right here. Can't see it because it's inverted, but I put them on my skin, man. It's FOE, friend over foe, family over everything. That's my clan on Xbox. We've been family for like 15 some odd years. I've never met these niggas, but
yeah, they're family.
But they're family, you know what I mean? So but yeah, that's if I could think of one more fun moment, it would have to be so we would play this game called Fantasy Star. Pause. Okay. I know what it sounds like, but it's not that. Okay. If you're a gamer, so we were playing this game, Fantasy Star, and we were fucking goofing around. We would get like these girl characters to come to the rooms because you would have rooms and shit. And we'd have this thing called Hotkey Night. Hotkey Night is pretty much where you would type on the keyboard and you would just be saying all types of wild shit. So one day, because it was 4 of us on the game. So one day we were all chilling in the room and we were hotkeying. We were talking about one of our friends that was in the group. We were talking mad shit about this nigga. He comes in the room and everybody stops typing. It was the most, but we're all in the party. So we're talking to each other while we're typing. So as soon as everybody stops typing, we all start laughing because we know we was talking shit about this nigga. And he was like, "Why are you laughing?" He was like, "Well, we was talking mad shit about you just now."
Yeah, and that happened. I actually have memorable moments. It was a Call of Duty game. I forgot which one it was. I think it was Modern Warfare 1 or 2. It was around that time. But it's the one that had the bouncing Betty. I specifically remember that. So I was playing against a guy named Gunnut. I'll call him Gunnut for the time being. And he was fucking shooting my ass, just following me. He would fucking screen cheat because we were all sitting down in one big ass TV with a 4-way. So he would just scream, looking like, "Stop looking at my shit! Stop looking at my shit!" And I knew I was going to lose. I knew that he was if he shot me one more time, he was going to win. I was like, "All right, fine. You gonna play that shit? Play that shit." At one point, he's upstairs and there's a ladder, and he's upstairs and he's waiting for me with, I think it was like a M15, M14, and just waiting for me to go up the stairs because he knows I'm up the ladder and shoot me. I automatically have the bouncing Betty on me. I run up, and ladies and gentlemen, I just say this because it's just a form of praise. I run up to him and say, "Allah Akbar, bitch," and I put the bouncing Betty right in his fucking face. He shoots me, kills me. He gets the win, but by technicality, he loses because I blew him up and he killed himself at the same time by not running away. So he's like, "Oh, I won. Wait a minute. No, wait, no, what? And it went 1 up and it went right back to the same number. I'm like, "Yeah, that's right, bitch. That's right." And I put the controller down and I left. Like, "I'm done. You can kill me." And he killed me. Like, "Fuck you." Oh, like, you're fucking screen hacking. Fuck you, man. But yeah, that was a wonderful time. Gunnut, I hope you're alive. But that's something that happens with a martyr.
You hit him with a manual martyrdom. That was funny.
I know, because I was pissed, man. He kept calling me an Arab too. I was just like, "I'm gonna lead into this shit." But to delve in a little bit more in the question, what is your future for Twitch now? And you talked about that, like really being more of an environment. But what games would you have the opportunity, if you had the opportunity, to play right now to promote? Like really get into it.
I mean, if I had the opportunity, or better yet, you mean like what game would promote me? Like if I were to play it, is that what you're saying? Or are you saying like if I were to recommend a game to somebody?
Yeah, no, I would say like this. I would say, what's a game right now that you want to play, but you don't have the funds or the equipment to really delve into it? And what's a game that you want to promote? So it's a 2-part question. One that you love and one that you know, like, if I play this game right now, I'm going to get fucking mad people playing, like, just popping on me right now. That's what I mean.
Okay. Damn, that's kind of a tough one. I'm playing so many games right now. I mean, it would have to be... Right now, it'd have to be Call of Duty. I'm really fucking with Call of Duty. Sorry, give me a second. Somebody's at my door.
Of course. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back. We're going to just take the time. Ladies, remember, last week we talked about this guy.
we're back. My fault.
All right. Of course, no
right.
problems necessary.
You're welcome. All right. So what were we doing? What were we saying?
One game that you would love to play right now, if you had the funds and the equipment to really promote it, and one game that you would love to play, knowing that that game would elevate you to a higher level.
Ooh, okay. All right. Call of Duty for the first one.
Yes.
If I could play that right now and Call of Duty be like, yo, come on, we go do some shit. You know, maybe we go shoot at the range for real and we put you in the game type shit. It'd be Call of Duty because I'm really enjoying the new one, despite what people say. And then the next one would have to be Apex for sure. Like I got most of my following from Apex. Most of the people on my stream know what I do in Apex. So yeah, it would have to be that for sure.
To add on to that question, to answer that question for myself, because I thought about it, a game I would love to play for myself, but if I had the funds for it and really promote it, the Division Part 2, love it. Trying to get
you like Division?
Fuck yeah, dude! I love that shit. I'm at level 507. I'm grinding up.
Damn, you never stop playing, huh?
Ooh, no shit, dude.
So
I love it.
You don't think at any point it's because that game doesn't seem repetitive to you? Like it doesn't seem like you're doing the same things over and over again to level up?
Yeah, it is. I'll be like, there's two different maps. You have the New York map and the Washington D.C. map, and then you have different excursion, different places like Coney Island and maybe like the White House. So there's in terms of missions in White House, you have about maybe 40 missions that you can do that always reset every Tuesday. New objectives. They might slightly tweak the map a little bit, or might like just like that. But it for the Division 2, it's not about the gameplay. It's about just the camaraderie of helping people, and really like you can I can turn on the game right now, for example, right, and just jump into a raid with 7 other people I don't know about, and if it's a good team, we rock it. We all friend request each other, and then throughout the whole week we're just helping each other out, really getting to know each other. I met 3 of the best friends I've ever had, just like your friends on Call of Duty. One guy gave me a brand new controller from PlayStation. One guy gave me 3-month subscription on PlayStation Plus, and one guy gave me 1 week intensive training of the Division, like grinding. He's like, you want to be a level 100? Every day we're doing this for 2 hours. Let's go. Bam, 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 bam. Doing the same mission 10 times over and over and over again, but it was a grind. I loved it. And a game that I would love to promote again to really elevate myself, Call of Duty Black Ops 2. Because they are still playing it, ladies and gentlemen. People are still playing it. It's like under 100,000 right now, but it's still good.
Black Ops 2 was a good game. It was a good game. Well, I mean, you brought it up. Might as well talk about it. Have you heard that they have been talking about possibly releasing a Black Ops? What do they call it? It's a Black Ops. It's called Black Ops Gulf. So it's like set in the Gulf War. And they've been developing this. They've been developing this Black Ops for 5 years. Nobody knew until maybe like a week ago. So how does that make you feel being a Black Ops fan? Because I don't meet a lot of Black Ops fans. You know, I love Black Ops. I love Black Ops. A lot of people that I play Call of Duty with would be like, nah, I don't fuck with Black Ops.
I fuck with Black Ops because they kept with the best thing about Modern Warfare 2 and all these other things and Ghost, whatever. They always had like a set futuristic storyline and betrayal. With Black Ops, we're going to the 60s, we're going to Russia, we're going to Cuba, we're going to like historical places that actually happened, and we're putting you in places, and the feel of it, where every mission you see the objectives, right, and they just black it out. By the time you start, it's like, oh, this shit's real. And then the gut punches of getting to know these people, and one dies after the other. That I've always loved Black Ops for that. And also the multiplayer is insane. It's insane. If you really, ladies and gentlemen, if you play Black Ops like I played Black Ops back in like the 2010s, like religiously, you would know where to go, how to go, what corner to go, how to camp, how to snipe, how to tomahawk, and how to explosive arrow. You knew what to do, and it was fun finding more people that were like, I know that shit too. Well, I know that shit more, and that's you know, that's why I love
Black Ops. Black Ops taught me how to throw the tomahawk because I didn't know how to really. I couldn't really get it right, but then as soon as I played Black Ops, I was tomahawking motherfuckers like it was nothing. So yeah, shout out to Black Ops.
Claymore and the explosive arrow for me. It mastered that shit. Claymore, I'm like, you gonna run after me?
Well,
He dead.
what's your favorite Call of Duty class ever?
I would not sniper. I hate sniper, but I would say grenadier, because if you can kind of trick the person from coming at you, you can guess right. Okay, I'm gonna throw a grenade here. He's gonna think I'm going right, but then he's gonna think that I'm going left. So I'm gonna wait. Flash bomb, boom, boom, and then really get in there, stab it up. But my for example, my weapon of choice, FAL and a scorpion. That's it. FAL and a little mini scorpion, and if in a pinch, an explosive arrow. Because remember, you have like at least 2-second delay. So if someone's coming after you and shooting you, you can 180 it, shoot, 180 back, and if you're lucky, if you see that little red dot in the corner, you did something. Turn it back around, get his ass. If you didn't do anything, you keep running. So that's and that's what I learned from Division. Division's that's why I tell people, you play Division, you gotta be very patient on the grind. It's not just like, yeah, we're going in there. Like, you gotta wait, you gotta aim, you gotta think, you gotta use your special powers, you gotta compensate for bullet and I love the game also because it has like the bullet drop. Every gun tells you like, okay, this shotgun can do this much, but like this shotgun can go a little bit more. So I love that. But that's just games I want to play. Other than that, the Forest again, because I'm gonna redo the Forest. That's another game I want to promote and really make it like kind of like an MTV Cribs, but in the Forest.
In the forest, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna have a nice little winter chateau, beach little isle. I'm gonna have a nice little canopy, stuff like that.
Yeah, I like it. That's dope.
It is. So here's a question for you. And this is the question a little bit more personal. If you had a significant other, or you do or not, I'm not going to put that out there. But if you had a significant other, would you be willing to connect that significant other to your Twitch? Like really make like couple gameplays? Because people like that too.
I do have, I'm married. And me and the wifey has been on my Twitch. So a couple of my people who watch Twitch know about her. Like they've seen her. We actually played It Takes Two
Nice.
For a little bit. It Takes Two. We played that on Twitch for a little bit. So I mean that was fun. But it's not, where we're at right now. It's not something that I want to do per se. Yeah. Like maybe as I get more, and if we get more free time, then for sure. But we had a lot more free time when she was playing with me. Now I can, if I can stream, I'm streaming for like 8 hours that day, but I might not stream next week. I might not stream next week because we're doing so much. We just bought a house, so it's like we got so much stacked against us right now in terms of just making sure shit is copacetic to where if I am streaming, that I'm not doing anything extra, And then for her, she's always working, so it just the timing's not right. But definitely once we are able to expand, probably get a bigger house in the next 2 or 3 years, then at that point, I'll start, because I need a room. Right now I'm in the living space. I need a room dedicated for my stream, kind of just like what you have. So once we get that popping, then she'll be part of my shit for sure. Shout out to Desiree.
Shout out to Desiree, the wife of SkrillKiil. Now, may I suggest more, like if you're going outside and more outdoor stuff, just Twitch outside. Like really do like a live stream. People love and that's the weird thing about Twitch. People love connectivity and just seeing outside stuff. Like, oh, cool. I want to see this couple that I don't even know freaking just go out to a picnic or go out to SeaWorld or go out to Mickey D's and just, it's weird. So I'm just putting it out
actually, there. I'm country as fuck. So I was thinking about getting a GoPro, and I got some water by the crib. Just go out there and fish. I fish. Yeah. I fish all the time. I just start recording that shit and start fishing. So so I'm definitely going to be doing that soon. Again, just timing, But I'm thinking about it for sure. Now, what I don't like though is the IRLs. I don't like IRLs because
I don't know.
Ain't no way.
I don't like you like this. I hate that shit. I'm getting nauseous.
but I mean, like these people like Ice Poseidon. You familiar with Ice Poseidon? Yeah. The camera, he walking all through everybody know where he's at. I'm not that type of nigga. I don't want you to know where I'm at. You know what I mean? Like so, if I'm streaming, then then I'm somewhere where I know people don't have access to me like that. You know what I mean?
No one's gonna knock on no one's gonna knock on your fucking door. No one's gonna come around you in a way that, you know, again, shout out to Benny the Butcher. I've seen what I'm paraphrasing. I've seen so much shit in my life. I can never live civilly. And that's something that is true for all people that's seen shit. So I understand you completely.
Or because I haven't seen shit, but people who are aware, you know what I mean, of the shit that can happen. Because you can never step foot in the hood and not be ignorant to the shit that goes on in the hood.
Oh, of course.
You know?
Unless you're a tourist that comes to Puerto Rico and thinking, "Ooh, this is pretty. This is pretty. Let's walk in here and be nice." And it's actually happened a lot more times than you think.
Well, I saw you post that video of that Jeep in the middle of the road that really seemed to peeve you off.
He pissed, dude. Okay, first off, I'll explain why. The roads are small here in Puerto Rico, and you can fit 2 Jeeps theoretically, right? If you like, you hug the sides, fine. But if you just park the car there, and there's 6 people coming out, and then they park the car right in the middle of the road, they go to the coffee shop, and they all go inside, and they're not coming inside for 30 minutes. I live in this town. Move the fucking car, or I'm gonna go inside the coffee shop. Yo, move the fucking car. That's why I get mad, dude. The festivals happen here. You can't find parking space for anywhere, like for any area. All right, that's why I say that. Be kind. Okay. There's parking spots. Fair. Don't be a lazy ass.
That's fair.
But with tourists, like I tell people, like one day was smart, but with tourists, I'm not getting into that. I'm not getting into that. I want to talk. I want to talk with you something a little deep, ladies and gentlemen. Viewer discretion is advised. It's time for. Now, you know about the Caribbean and what's happening, the earthquakes, the storms, and all that stuff, right? Okay. Mm-hmm. Are you familiar with what's happening with Dominican Republic?
Let's just say I'm not.
Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, he's about to know right now. 1 minute, 90 seconds of this. Enjoy. We're gonna talk over this. This happens exactly 5 days ago. The Dominican Republic in the northeast side. Yep. What you see here is really bad infrastructure that was made in the 70s. You know that car, cheap product. That's all road. All that road is gone. Completely rounded up. All we see is there's walls that got destroyed. There's bridges that got destroyed. There's entire cities that got washed away with paper on water. Washed away. I'm going to show you. This is happening every week in the Caribbean. Every week. Check that out.
Oh, Dios.
That was nuts. Damn.
Yeah. And that's and that in terms of a level of extreme of like 1 to 10, that was a 6. That was a 6. I have more extreme videos, but I can't put them out there. They're on my Telegram, ladies and gentlemen. Link below.
Okay.
So yeah. So
okay.
Go on.
Well, I mean, what is there to say about that? I mean, I think storms, especially in that area, the Caribbean, it's a very volatile place, and it's been that way since this planet has been here. The Bermuda Triangle has always been a very volatile place. So if you look at that, and then you just look at just the overall way of the ocean, right? For as long as we've been able to tell the weather, when the Saharan dust or any kind of wind comes off of Africa and the water is hot, that is what produces a lot of these storms. But a lot of these storms can just produce out of nowhere, forming a cumulonimbus. I think that's what it's called. I probably said that wrong, but it's a cloud. It's a scientific name for a cloud. So the real problem is, and this could happen. This happened in Texas. Texas doesn't have the best infrastructure when it comes to rainwater. So when a lot of water comes up, they get flooding problems. The problem with Dominican Republic, and especially that island as a whole, their government doesn't give a shit about them. So the roads aren't shit. The buildings aren't shit. So when the water comes, there's nothing to protect the citizens. The people with the money are up in the mountains. They don't give a fuck about no water on the ground. But everybody underneath them, oh well, you got to live with it. Maybe the UN will send me $100 million and I can pocket it and say I tried to rescue you. You know what I mean? Like
that's the key. What I was going to say right there. In the last 7 years since Maria, we all got government funds to fix the infrastructure of all the roads. Each country, Dominican Republic, Haiti, Puerto Rico, Jamaica, they all got FEMA money because Maria hit all of us. Right?
I remember
exactly. So I bring this up now, and thank you for bringing that up. All those millions of dollars was not wasted on infrastructure and better living. It was wasted in the pockets of the people. And the people in the Dominican Republic, like the death toll, I think is around 30 right now at the moment. And today. So now, exactly. So what I want to talk about with you is that if you had the money and the funds to fix the Dominican Republic, how would you fix it? Mind you, there would be a consequence of people think that you're a tyrant, even if you're trying to, because even when good people try to do good things, there's always one side saying that they're wrong.
Okay.
So what would you
do? Can I switch it up on you? Because honestly, I can really care about them, but I'm Jamaican, so there's a lot of issues in my home country. Well, America's my home country, my parents' home country, that I would fix if I had money. So if I had money, and I wouldn't get kidnapped in Jamaica because they'll kidnap you if you have money.
Sure. They will.
Yeah, if I had money, the first things I would do is fix the roads. I mean, the roads. If you ever drove in Jamaica or any of these countries, it's hazardous. I mean, you could fucking drive around a corner and there's no sign to tell you that there's a 60-foot cliff right here with a river at the bottom. You know what I mean? Like there are trucks who overtake the road at all times. Drivers weave in and out of each other. There's no police officers to stop them. There's not even speed bumps. There's potholes. There's plenty of potholes. But there's none of that. So definitely one of the first things I would do if I had money was fix the roads in Jamaica. Next, it's job creation, job building, because that's another reason why people commit crimes, because they don't have nothing else to do and they don't have no money. I feel like if you gave enough people something to do that would give them a good amount of money, not just something decent, like something that they can fucking live off of. And I'm talking like for Jamaicans, I'm talking like what, $15 US an hour? That's a great job, because that money will go a long way in Jamaica. So I would definitely create jobs. The next thing I would do is the health administration in Jamaica. It's terrible. A lot of my family members have to go out of the country to receive proper medical care. Not for lack of knowledge. It's not like the doctors don't know. They just, I don't know where they spend the money, but it's not on the equipment. So their equipment's shoddy. Sometimes it doesn't work. If there's an emergency, niggas die because the fucking defibrillator don't work. It's like you should probably charge that. You know what I mean? Like, it's important. Mm-hmm. So definitely breaking down and rebuilding the health infrastructure. And then finally, gun permits for every law-abiding Jamaican citizen.
Okay.
Every law-abiding Jamaican citizen will be able to carry a firearm to defend themselves. And if they fuck up and know, because that's the thing. A lot of people like to say, oh, well, there's no, responsible gun owners. That's not a thing. Well, for you to become an unresponsible gun owner, you have now crossed over into criminality. So now you're a criminal. You're no longer a responsible gun owner. You're only a responsible gun owner until you're no longer a responsible gun owner, And most people, especially the ones that I know, are responsible. So definitely guns in the hands of every well-bodied, sound mind, law-abiding Jamaican citizen to defend their home and property from these fucking thugs who are kidnapping women and children and fucking killing more Jamaicans every other day. It's ridiculous out there. But yes, that would be the last thing I do.
Okay, I get that, and I understand what you mean too. And I hate to agree with Krishan on things, because I don't like to agree on everything he says. He's a nut. Love you, man. Gun control. I actually looked this up when I was looking up gun control. gun control here in Puerto Rico, there are no cases of people using their guns for self-defense. Rarely. You get at most 2 cases a year that someone tried to carjack them, and then the guy got murdered because you got carjacked. And then the guy's like, oh, I have a gun who's legal, and I'm going to shoot you. There's been a couple years ago, there was a video. A guy tried to jack a car, and he came out with his girlfriend. The guy's like, I have a gun. Please go away. And he told him, please go away. He didn't want to listen. Shot him. And he went to jail for a week, obviously, because the video didn't show exactly what was happening. But after the week passed, it was fine. But we have here in Puerto Rico irresponsible gun owners, which that's something I wanted to talk to you about. Irresponsible gun owners, they're rare. I'm not saying that there's a majority of it. They're rare. And for example, Celio Severi, I talked about that on my channel. The rich guy who was at the hotel and saw 3 stray dogs, and he thought they were attacking him when they were like the size of like a loaf of bread, all 3 of them, and he executed a dog right there in front of it, right? And because of his money, he extended the court for 2 years, and now he's in Bayamon in the most nastiest jail in Puerto Rico for the next 2 years, and then 3 years house arrest.
Good, so, that's what he deserves.
So I talked this about Krishan off topic, but do you think there should be for me, I'm thinking about this, a yearly wellness check and psychological check on the person who has a gun? I think there should be, at least, if not a year, every 2 years. Because again, a person can change and be a totally different person in a year by circumstances, environmental factors, life, their job. That's what I'm thinking.
Okay. I'm gonna go and say absolutely not. Hell no. Nah. Because here's why. Who is making that decision? Who is going to well, hold on. Because here's the thing. There's been a lot of times where psychologists and psychiatrists have gotten shit right, and a lot of times where they've gotten shit wrong. Who's to say that I'm not having a bad week when they show up on my door and I'm pissed about something totally unrelated? I'm not gonna go fucking to Walmart and fucking start shooting people, but I'm upset. I'm mad. I'm a human being. I have the right to be expressive. That should not cause me to potentially lose the right to protect myself because I'm having a moment. You know what I mean? That is totalitarian in its nature. And another thing that can be manipulated. So I could not have said shit, and somebody could be like, "Oh, that guy, I think he's crazy. Oh, maybe we should go check into him." You know what I mean? So it's too wishy-washy, and that's why to me red flag laws don't work. Look how many people should have had red flags on them and didn't have red flags on them, and even the ones that did had red flags on them, they stopped watching them and they did something. So red flag laws don't work. Honestly, there is, because at the end of the day, when people go out and commit these horrendous crimes, it's evil, and you cannot stamp out evil entirely. You know what I mean? The gun itself is a tool, and it's just that. It's a tool. It's a hammer. I could kill somebody with a hammer. That me killing somebody with a gun and killing somebody with a hammer doesn't lower what I did with the tool. You know what I mean? I still took somebody's life. So at the end of the day, if a motherfucker wants to say, hey, you know, I don't think that guy should have his weapon because I think he's upset right now, I just think that's a little ridiculous in my opinion. You know what I mean?
I get that, and I just wish there was how do I say this, like a scientific study across the board that everyone agreed on, to be like, hey, you want a gun, like do this survey and let's see what you really think inside. I mean, again, that's just me, because again, here in Puerto Rico, and I've said this on my channel, you had that beautiful gun. It was a beautiful thing. I'm guaranteeing you, there's a 16-year-old kid right now on my block that has that modified, ready to go.
Probably, but but did he get that legally? I bought this legally. I went to the store. I bought this. I had to sign a document. I had to put certain things on that document that ensures that if I'm not responsible for this, then I'm going to jail. There's nobody in Puerto Rico that is enforcing laws that will stop these gang members from being gang members. They're gang members. I'm not expecting them to change. That's why it's important for us who follow the law to have these things, because the people who don't follow the law are going to have these things.
Mm-hmm. No, I get it. And every year, at least once a year at least, there's a armory shop that gets raided by the FBI because they sold some weapons. When I say there's Dracos here, there's Dracos here. There's the guns that you see in every army weapon out there. All we're missing is tanks.
I'm sure.
And
you might. One of y'all might have one.
We have tanks in the military base. Yeah. We have tanks. Yeah. We have we have Harrier carriers and ready to go.
One of y'all pushers out there probably got a tank somewhere. I'm telling you.
Dude, I shit you not. I saw a freaking dealer one time with a rocket launcher. He just had it just because. He's like, I wanted a rocket launcher. I saw it from Resident Evil and I wanted it. So I bought it. It cost me $6,000, but I got it. I was like,
right. So now why is it that I have to pay for the guy who can just freely? I can't get a fucking rocket launcher, nor do I want one. But why do I have to pay for the asshole that buys a rocket launcher? You know what I'm saying? Like it's different strokes for different folks, man. Like you just got it. You got to take the because you take away the guns, and then you're just gonna turn it to London. Everybody's gonna start fucking stabbing each other. That's it.
Yeah,
we're humans. Yeah. We're gonna find a way to fucking hurt each other. That is the best thing that we're good at. We are super good at loving, and we are super good at hating.
Okay, I like that. Talking about that, Krishan doesn't like this woman, one, because she's a woman, but two, she's very liberal. And this is something talking about kids. So here's tell me your thoughts on this.
Okay.
Studies have shown that telling kids things like you're so smart will lead them to poorer performance than telling them things like you worked so hard. That was great. You didn't give up. That means that when we praise students for their effort, they do better than when we praise them for their intelligence. This is important. Let me tell you why in this video that I'm doing in partnership with participants. Our education system is often focused on systematic ways of measuring performance, like test scores. And there's so much shame attached to not getting those good grades that it discourages students from even trying. And it's not just kids. Even as adults, we will perform worse if we're focused on the outcome rather than the process of figuring out a problem. I know, because it still happens to me. When we procrastinate, it's not because we're lazy. It's often because we're scared of not getting something right. That's why I love this movie, because it's based on the true story of a Mexican teacher who decided to try out a radical way of teaching his students. He used a method called self-directed learning. Sergio Juarez Correa decided to let his students take control of their education by letting them decide what they wanted to learn and how. He was there to ask questions and guide them. And here's the thing, he encouraged his students to get the answers wrong, because through the process of understanding why it was wrong, they would learn, and they wouldn't be so scared to try. Sergio didn't care about grades or test scores, but ironically, because of his teaching, his students ended up getting some of the best scores in the country on the National Achievement Test. I watched it, and I can tell you that Radical is such a powerful movie. Sergio's story will remind you of how important teachers are and how they can really change students' lives. And it's not in theaters, so if you want to watch it, check out the link in my bio for tickets.
Self-promotion for her. So what, and by the way, that's just the Mexican version of School of Rock. Let's put that out there. I'm saying that. I'm just saying that. So what's your thoughts on that? Because I actually believe that. I was raised negatively by my family. Don't fuck up. Do your job. Shut up. Head down. Wash the dishes. But it was rarely a positive, like, you did good. Yay. You got an A. I never got that for shit. I never got a. So what's your thoughts on that?
I mean, I think she has some really valid points. You know, I growing up, like I said, I'm an only child. You know, I struggled. Math wasn't really my strong suit. You know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna lie. I'm really good at English. I'm really good at comprehending. You know what I mean? Like I can write a fucking book if I need to, but you put a complicated algebra equation in front of me and I'm stumped. So my dad used to be a math teacher in Jamaica. And he would sit me down and say, okay, son, we're going to learn this today, this, that, and the third. And every time he would teach me, I would I would grasp it and then go back to school and actually get the shit done. So I think a lot of it comes down to one, the home. I'm always going to lead back to the home. So what type of home you were in, you know what I mean? But then when it comes to the school, that shit that he was doing, that's cool. But you can't do that in a lot of these schools, especially in America. You can't say, hey, yeah, you guys tell me what you want to learn today, and they're all going to be like, we want to make a beat. It's like, no, you can't. No, we're not here to do that. Yeah, tell me what you want to learn about the curriculum. You know what I mean? So a lot of times, I don't see a problem with negative reinforcement because I think it works. I also think that sometimes it's necessary given the situation. I'm not a parent yet, so I don't know how I would address that with my child, but I would probably take the same route my parents did, was like, just try your best and let's see what happens. You know what I mean? Apply yourself. You know what you're capable of. So why don't you, put the game down? Put the game down and buckle. My dad would say, buckle down. You need to buckle down and get your shit together. You know what I mean? And every time I'd have those talks with him, I would. Definitely, I think, but she had some really valid points in there, especially when it comes to learning in a group setting. You want your students to be, I would assume you want them to be comfortable enough to get them uncomfortable, because the only way you learn is by being uncomfortable. Does that make sense? I think I lost you. I don't hear you anymore.
That's me. But I was saying by when you pressure coal, you either make diamonds or dust, and that's the way life should be in life. Like you have again, and you're right, and that's I pushed myself to. I'm actually really good at math. I suck in English, like nouns, verbs, all that. I can't do that shit for anything. I can do math for days. High, drunk. So
we're completely opposite in that.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
I love history, so that's why I always love those things too. But to talk about children of now, what do you think is going to take for the children of now to get better? Because in my opinion, the children of now are not getting better. Almost every 16-year-old kid wants to be a video editor. So like, wow, that's a great thing. That's cool. But you're automatically setting yourself up not to be the leader, but to be the follower of somebody, to sell your craft to somebody else. My son's like, I'm going to be a big video editor, and I'm going to go to Markiplier, and I'm going to go to Kenshin. I'm like, why don't you become the Kenshin? You become the Markiplier, and then you sell your craft to them. So therefore, they want you. He's like, I never thought about it that way. Yeah, do that.
Because social media has designed it to where students think that they can do quick shit. I can video edit, I see Daquan got 12 million followers, and all he does is post memes. I could do that. No, you can't. It's different. Some of these people, like Daquan, the guy I just mentioned, he was on Instagram for at least 4 or 5 years posting memes before he even touched 1 million followers. So I think a lot of people, well, not people, a lot of kids see the end result of the hard work that people put in, and they don't think they have to put in any work to do it. A lot of these famous people have put in the work. That's why they're there. Nobody famous or nobody. Let me not say nobody. There's some people that don't deserve to be famous, like Krishan Rock. She don't deserve that shit.
Yeah, she don't.
No. But there are people who have worked hard to be where they're at, regardless of how I feel about their art form or whatever they do. They work for that. You know what I mean? So I think better teachers. That's what we need. We need teachers who aren't hot, who aren't trying to fuck the students.
Yeah,
we need teachers who aren't trying to shove down LGBTQ propaganda down students' throats every second. Yeah, we get it. You exist. It's okay. You can exist. Now teach my son math. I didn't.
That's what I was gonna say. That was what I was gonna say about that, because me and Krishan don't delve on this, but me talking about this more and understanding the process of what's going on in America. It's happening over here too. A lot of people, like a lot of drag people, are dressing up and like, oh, let's sit down with the kids and talk about this and this. I'm like, and I grew up, I guess in a sense, conservative, like grew up like very insular. And I think the child should have a choice if they want to read it or not. Like they should have a choice. Like, here's the book about this and this and this. Just like here's the book about Hitler. You have a choice to read
How old is the
either
child?
or.
How old is the child?
I would say after puberty. For me, the level for me is after puberty. Right then,
I need an age to know where you're at, because after puberty, that's like 9 for some girls. That's
I
like
would say
13 for
I would
some
say
dudes.
11, because now the kids now are like they're 11 years old, but they're as smart as 21-year-olds. But when they become 21-year-olds, they're dumb as 12-year-olds. It's a weird cycle here in America, ladies and gentlemen, in the world.
Okay.
In the world.
Now the books that are the subject, do you know what the context of those books are?
I would say, okay, you don't need to tell a kid about genitals and what goes where. No. There's a sex ed class for that, and they'll get that when they're 16. Boom.
Okay, look, I was getting a little scared. I was like, where's he going with this? Okay,
no, I understand what you mean.
agree with you. I agree with you. Okay.
We don't need that. But at the same time, there should be a freedom of speech, but a freedom of reading too. Again, there's a lot of books that are banned. There's a lot of books that are bad or good. The reason that we become good or bad people is by the choices that we make and the things that we see, read, touch, smell, whatever. And we should have the choice of that. What's happening now in America, I don't like. And I want to say this real quick. What's happening in America, I don't like, because yes, you're trying to bring an agenda like you're trying to put an agenda. And I don't like that with the kids. Now, if we go back to 1993, the agenda for the kids back then was Christianity is good, being gay is bad, it's the devil, it brings diseases, it's wrong. That was a bad agenda thrown out there in the 90s. And that's what's made a lot of people, in my opinion, scared, homophobic, and everything else. Now, people are like, we're gay, we're proud, and everything else. I'm happy for you. Be gay, be proud, be wherever you want. You don't, at any point in time, have to tell a 9-year-old and under genitalia, where goes where, what goes what. You don't need to. They can watch that on Rick and Morty, and they can watch that for free. Okay, that's why I think about that. That's why I want to talk to you about that, because I know me and Krishan would just go back and forth. What's up, Peter? Love you, sir.
Big BP, what up, boy? Yeah, I think I think it's a little okay. I was gonna say it's complicated, but it's really not. I think the whole book thing doesn't belong in school. Like there was no point in time that I could have went into even my middle school library, my elementary school library, and pick up a book where there was an illustration of dicks in it. There was no point that I could do that. Now, could I have taken my 9-year-old self to the public library and find that book? Yes. So the straw man argument of, and I'm not saying you were doing that, but the straw man argument of these books should be okay because it's not free speech, because if we take these books out of school, it's a problem. It's not a problem. The public library is on the way to the school. Go over there if you really want to see dicks in a book, but keep them shits out of school where the children have to go find that shit themselves. Because I was a kid, you were a kid, we found that shit ourselves, right? Am I wrong or am I right? Right?
You're right.
So there's no reason for this to be pushed in such a sense of, no, you gotta learn this. With time and experience, we will learn it ourselves and we will figure it out when we need to.
That's true. But here's the thing that scares that part that you just said, that we need the time, that when we need to do it, when we get it on our own accord, that shit's sped up by the time you give your kid a phone, by the time he hits 10. Because in that phone, you can find anything you want. Boy, I have okay. How do I say this? I'm gonna put another comment here. In the Smoky Mountains, freezing my balls off. We'll get some whiskey and warm yourself up, sir.
Yo, Pete, tell me, what do? You hiring? This nigga Pete always flying somewhere, bro.
I know.
Yo, get his job, brother.
But what I was saying is this. I kind of lost track here for a second. All right. The thing about books and everything else and the way thing is happening, I don't want that to happen to kids. But at the same time, when you give a kid a phone, it's the parent's responsibility. Mother, father, single father, both whatever, 2 gay dads, 2 gay moms, I don't give a shit. It's your responsibility as an adult to watch your kid and what he sees and hears. That's the most important thing. You can't trust and we're gonna talk about this in a second. You can't trust Toonami anymore. You can't trust Nickelodeon. You can't trust freaking South. Like you can't, because oh kid, let's watch this cartoon. It looks pretty cool. Oh, and then it gets really into existentialism and gay. You didn't even know. Castlevania, for example.
I think I'm gonna disagree with you on that one too, because it's like this, right? You can raise your and again, I don't have kids, so I don't know, but you can. I'm basing this based off of how I was raised, and I was raised to where you respect people, you give what you get, you put in the time and the effort, you work hard for your shit. I was also raised not to watch this, not to watch that, not to watch that, not to indulge in that. I did those things anyway. And at the point where my parents found out that I was doing these things, they allowed me the freedom to keep doing these things, because at the end of the day, they know that, okay, he's growing up. He's no longer 12. So I can't tell him he can't watch. He's 16. He can watch South Park. I can't stop him. I'm not going to be on his TV every day. Am I going to tell him the dangers of pornography? Yes. I'm going to tell him pornography is dangerous. You shouldn't do it. It's disrespectful to women. Do I know he's watching pornography? Yeah, he's probably watching pornography. You know what I mean? It's one of those things where you got it. We need to start letting kids be kids again. You know what I mean? We don't do that. And when I say we, I'm talking like third person here, because again, I don't have kids. But based off of what I see, especially online, these parents are pushing their kids to have some sort of sexual identity when they're not even sexual, and that's part of the problem. It's like, bro, I didn't know what the fuck what a vagina was at fucking 9 or something. But some of these kids are 5 and they're talking about their non-binary. That makes no sense. Who told you that? You know what I mean? So it's just again, we need better teachers, and we need better parents, and a lot of it is our fault, because these parents are from this generation, from you and our generation of kids who have grown up in the 90s, in the roughest, the part of the United States where you could say anything. We grew up in that, and we turned out these soft serve kids.
I think it's because traumatizing, because I believe in itself. Like I might be a soft dad myself, in the sense that like I don't hit my kid. I used to when he was growing up, but now I'm just doing the same thing my mom did, and it's not productive. So I stopped. I sit down with him. I talk with him like just now as a 13-year-old.
At what age did you stop hitting him?
8.
Okay.
At 8.
I think that's an appropriate age, because at 8 you can now talk to because at 8 comprehension comes in. They used to, because when you beat a child, right? And this is gonna sound horrible, but when you beat a child, it's supposed to come from a place of correctiveness, to where they did something so bad to where the only way that they can associate I'm not going to do this anymore is with a little bit of pain. And people are going to say that's abusive, but that worked for so many years. In the Bible, it says you spare the rod, you spoil the child. And that's something that I hold true today. Now the rod has changed. So now instead of hitting your child, now you get to do things like take away their phone, take away their Xbox, you know what I mean? Take away their privileges. Now they can't go nowhere. Like sort of like what they did back in the 90s, you're grounded, but now grounded is a whole new level, because it used to be where you were grounded. It sucks to stay at home, but you can't ground no kid at home. They have everything they want. You know what I mean? So that's when you have to start taking shit away, to where now they have to earn shit. You know what I mean? So
thank you.
I think thank you for that. Yeah, of course. Of course, I think the parenting is definitely going to be evolving and different, but there's an age in where these kids need to learn that you just don't do certain shit. I'll give you a story, super personal. I think I was like 5 or 6.
Uh-oh. Give me a second, ladies and gentlemen. Hold down. Might be frozen. Skrill. Ladies and gentlemen, we're right back in a second. Just making sure. Little commercial. Man. Oh. He'll be back in a second, ladies and gentlemen. 1 second. His internet's a little bad. My bad. Oh, he's gone. Well, the stream's bad, ladies and gentlemen. That's okay. We'll do a part 2 later on. I want to give thanks. If he comes back, we'll keep talking. But I want to give thanks before anything else to SkrillKiil for taking the time and showing how immaculate he is in the knowledge of life. I love that about and about him. So if we'll give him a minute and see if he comes back. If he does, he does. If not, it's totally fine. We'll do it as a part 2. I want to talk to him more. Wanda, whenever you hear this, I want to talk to you, sir. The trifecta will be done once you get here. Make sure to get SkrillKiil on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram.
Praying over bricks, blessings on the stove.
Stay healthy. Stay happy. Thank you guys for passing by. For 3 people that are watching, my girlfriend, I love you. I'll talk to you in a second. To SkrillKiil, Krishan and Wanda. Streams happen. Streams get cut, but there's going to be a part 2. Good night. Good job.